Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. This is your brother Blue Pill. All right, welcome back to another episode of Know the Ledge TV slash Know the Ledge Radio slash Know the Ledge Media presents Tough Talk Tuesdays. Okay, this is episode 26. All right, it's your brother Blue. I'm very soon to be joined by my co-host for the evening, our brother Ken. So with no further ado, let me bring in the co-host.
What they do?
Hey,
What's happening?
peace to the God.
What they do, my dude? What's popping?
We in the building, just had to work through a little technical difficulty. What would the episode be without a little, birth pains?
Right. It go along with the season.
Fire, yeah.
It go along with the season. What's happening?
Yeah, the universe, we want to know, really about that life?
Right.
Or you just here for the shits and giggles and the fun times?
Mm-hmm.
Things have drastically changed.
right. Yeah.
Totally. A lot of the fun shit has come to a screeching halt. You know what I'm saying? Things have drastically changed since we've last been on this episode. What a difference. It was all good just a week ago. I think
Right.
JP said.
Right.
How much can you compact and fit into a 14-day period? Now, look, let's put this in perspective. The last time we was probably on, I think it was a little bit over 14 days, but to give people a grasp of what
over a month.
Okay, a little bit over a month.
Yeah, the last show was the 11th of February.
Technically, yeah, the 11th for the 12th.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And okay, a little bit over a month. So if we take stock as to what has transpired in that period of time, can the people then put the future ahead of them to imagine what the next 30 days is going to look like?
No. Not at all.
You know how the memes be, they be tapping out at the end of the year like, oh, I can't wait for 2020 to get here because 2019, that shit just
Yeah.
We ain't even in April and people tapping out like, oh my God, I am through with 2020 already. And we ain't even get to spring yet.
Right. Right. It's unfolding as we speak.
We ain't even get to the galaxies or the universes or the planetary new year as of yet. We're just in the first quarter of the fiscal new year going into the second quarter, and already all of these companies are underwater. Now, what people have come to appreciate from us is different perspectives, a unique perspective. You know what I'm saying? And of definitely what I have grown to respect from you is your objective perspectives. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
When I seen this going down, and of course I had my own ideas about what I was witnessing, but I immediately was like, I need to speak to the big homie. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get an idea in his chaos realm.
Yeah.
Or what it is that we possibly could be looking at here. So yeah, man.
What's the question?
I've been catching some of your lives and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? I've been catching some of your your commentary on IG or what have you. What is your assessment of what you're bearing witness to, bro?
Regulation, human regulation. That's all it is. Imagine going from throwing rocks to swords. All right. Imagine going from swords to bow and arrows, from bow and arrows to cannons. Imagine going from boat to travel to cars. Imagine going from cars to planes. Imagine going from a canoe to a submarine. Each time
Mm.
humans make those kind of leaps, there is a very uncomfortable period. Now, whether that's depression, whether that's stress, right now we have a virus that is plaguing the whole world. But it's not the end of the world. It's actually the beginning of something else. But isn't this how it always looks when something ends? Right? When a woman gives
Right.
birth, isn't there blood first? Before before the youth ever comes out of her, doesn't blood come?
Yes, there's pain, there's contractions, and then there's blood. And what she's ending is a inception period, and she's about to conceive or give birth to something new, right? She has carried a load that has given her birth pangs, it has given her discomfort, but it's also given her joy or a renewed sense of joy. She can't wait, right? So yeah, let's put this in perspective because we belong to a community, right, that has been speaking about unprecedented monumental change for forever and a day. And as a people, we come from a folk tradition where our nanas, our papas, our babas, you know what I'm saying? They also spoke about an old time religion. And this old time religion, was speaking about scripture, right? We're speaking about scripture. And our ancestors or our elders, prided themselves with being able to look at scripture and find themselves. And however they chose to interpret the narrative or the particular scripture, you dig what I'm saying? And just last year, we were speaking about the Jubilee year. We were speaking about Genesis 15:13, and our people were identifying themselves as the ones, as Farrakhan said when he opened up Jay Electronica's album, as the children of Israel, a people with a divine destiny. So once again, aligning ourselves with that book and that scripture and the things that resonate off of those pages, and then to live physically during a time where you can literally go to that book and interpret what you're seeing line for line. You feel me? One would say, well, damn, you was born into preparation. You've been born into, how you be seeing them little shorties in church, they be like 3 or 4 and they pastors already, right? Scripture been heavy on them from the womb.
Mhm.
So I say all that to say that we have somewhat been prepared for a time when there would be tumultuous change. And we have been prepared for being able to perceive that particular change as the analogy, like you said, to childbirth, that there would be birth pains, that there would be contractions, you know what I'm saying? And then there would be blood, right? But then we also find, people's inability because of the discomfort of pain with being able to put one and two together.
Mhm.
So they can't even think straight during these times to fall back on the things that they have been initially trained to have eyes to see. But this is 2020, the year of clear vision. And they say, those with eyes shall see, and those with ears shall hear. You know, I don't see a lot of unique interpretations about what people are putting their eyes on, though. I hear a lot of fear.
Well, because those scriptures was for analog people. That wasn't for these people right now. That wasn't for virtual reality. That was for analog. So you can see yourself in those scriptures, say during a civil rights period of sticking together, of coming to a climax of something. But the scriptures, it's not for right now. Right now it's for people to write their own Bible. You have to write prophecy now, right? And I think that's part of the reason why people can't move forward, is because they're still stuck in an old paradigm. We're literally living in a cyborg era where your phone knows you better than your wife.
Mm.
Your phone knows you better than your husband. Your phone recommends videos that it thinks you like. That's deep, right? Your phone has all your personal information. We live in a space where you can put a question in Google, and Google will respond faster to you than any deity in the world. Google will answer any question you have faster than any Jesus, any Buddha, any Muhammad, right? You have to wait on the Lord. You don't have to wait on Google, right? So those scriptures don't fit into this right here. And that's because it's time for new Bibles. It's time for new Qurans, right? How long are you going to live under a 2,000-year ideology, right? Now, the other day I did a post on IG about returning back home. Yeah. And you do go back them for a source, but I believe you go back there to a source for a point of reference to move forward, not to keep living out because those old gods don't fit into this narrative right here. The blood of Jesus will not save no one right now. No matter how many salats you make right now, it will not supersede the power of Google. The internet controls planes, what controls submarines, it controls missile trajectory, it controls satellite, it controls everything about our day-to-day life. I don't have to pray right now. I don't have to acknowledge a deity in the world, but I do have to fuck with the internet if I want to live. That says a lot. Right? So
you could ignore God, but you can't ignore the internet.
you can't ignore the internet. You can't ignore automation even if you wanted to. You would have to completely live off grid. But even you living off grid, if I know how to use Google Maps, I can still find you. I mean, you would have to be an Edward Snowden. You would have to know how to cloak yourself and bounce light off of you for me not to see you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when the people look inside the books, it's gonna look a little blurry because they're not in there. That's for an old people. You are a new people with a new set of problems. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for new messiahs, new Jesuses, new Muhammads, new Khadijas, new John the Baptist, new Qurans. And I think that's what is making people so afraid, is that they have to be the mythologies that they were reading about. They have to be the savior. They have to be the messianic force. You can't lean on it right now. You have to go above what Islam was to create it to fit inside of a nuclear age with bombs that can decimate a whole civilization like it never existed. Right? Look how fast a disease can spread right now. I can be sick, cough in New York, and by the end of the day, I can be in California and do the same thing. It's never been like that. Where I can pick up a phone and send you a message, and I'm standing right here and you're all the way in Miami. You need gods to fit that narrative. You need gods to fit modern epidemic. You need new gods and new Bibles to fit technology. It's very interesting, Blue, and I'll leave off with this, is that as much as our technology is changing, we're very primitive. So our dogmas and our ideologies is not moving as fast as the technology is moving. We still have the basic jealousies in mating that people had 1,500 years ago. We still marry the same. We still court the same. We still have the same base animalistic desires that we had 10,000 years ago. You know, very interesting.
So, what would people do with gods that they have outgrown? Or, what happens during a time when the time has outgrown either, the offering, the message, or the purpose of those particular gods.
You have to put the gods in your image.
Right. So you look to man.
Yeah, because man created God before. It's nothing new. That's the big mystery on the earth, bro. There was no God didn't create man. Man created God. Without the imagination of man, there's no gods. Without the existence of man, there is no God. Right? Isn't God in itself a German word belonging to the Visigoths?
Gods.
And the etymology of it was to pour libations on a mound. Right? So there is no God without language. Right? So this is why all world deities have characteristics of human beings, right? Yahweh, or the Judeo-Christian God, it gets jealous.
Yes.
Now, what kind of spirit would say, if you don't praise me, the rocks are gonna cry out? That tells you that's a demiurge, and Bobby Hemmett taught us that this God, Yahweh, the Judeo-Christian God, is a character by the name of Adulderbroth in Gnostic teachings. No, we are just praising demiurges and worshiping demiurges. And without our attention, these gods don't exist. So I segue into this. Whatever man puts his attention on becomes God. The moment we take our attention off Allah, the moment we take our attention off Yahweh, off Jesus, it no longer exists. So these gods are using us as a food source, because once we take our attention off those gods, they don't exist. So whereas right now, if I put my attention on French Montana and make him the deity, he's the deity. I got to kill him first, though. I got to kill him first and then create mythology, right? And then I'll tie in Pee Wee Kirkland and say Pee Wee Kirkland was, his John the Baptist. They all follow the same motifs. So the people right now, again, the position that they're in is that they have to be the characters in the books. But you need confidence and self-esteem, because they was taught to lean not on their own understanding, but to get to where they need to go to push their family forward, to push their bloodline forward. They are going to have to lean on their own understanding, which requires a lot of confidence. And I'm not sure the people have that right now.
So, I mean, what are they left with? Being godless?
No, they're going to die off.
Right. Somebody just said that this was predicted in Ayn Rand's, what's the name of the book?
What, Atlas Shrugged?
Yeah, Atlas Shrugged. You speak on that often. Is there any connections or correlation? Because I personally didn't read the book, but can you see that connection?
Well, Ayn Rand always dealt with the ideal man, right? And to get man into outside of groupthink, with the book Anthem and the Fountainhead, her character, she always dealt with this concept of the ideal man. And the ideal man was outside of the realm of God. The ideal man wouldn't ever have any concepts that don't align with reason and logic. So in terms of the questioning, then I can see that. But in terms of civilization and society, I'm not sure. And honestly, it's very easy to make predictions. We're very big on this was predicted and that was predicted. All you have to do is follow social trends, right? And if you make 1,000 predictions and get one right, does that make you a prophet? You know what I'm saying? So, Ayn Rand dealt with the concept of the ideal man, and for that ideal man to use critical thinking. So I'm not sure what they meant by Ayn Rand predicted this, because Ayn Rand never claimed to be a prophet.
Right. No, I mean, in terms of the book and the narrative, and it spoke on it, like people are saying, Oh, this is 1984.
I mean,
There's possibilities to, you know, to write things into existence or to be dead on. Like you said, if you follow social trends.
so we can make a prediction right now to say, you know what? I can actually see human beings living off the planet. I can see us bleeding all of our resources. You know what I'm saying? And I can see people living underground if they're not living there already,
Right.
right? I can see civilizations like Waterworld and Kevin Costner. You know what I'm saying? I can see that. I can see a Mad Max kind of thing happening. I can see Carnegie and the Book of Eli. I can see that happening, right? We're living with our existence comes with trillions of possibilities based on what you decide to do at any given moment, right? So I can see that, you know. So I don't know the correlation. I don't know the correlation between, you know what I'm saying? So I just know that Ayn Rand dealt with the ideal man concept and how she wanted to form this character that was that thought for himself, that wasn't my brother's keeper. I'm a huge fan of Ayn Rand, so I don't really know the correlation, but maybe there is one.
Right. Okay. And from your purview, because you are in the nation's capital, you know, what's the temperature out there?
Dead as hell. You can feel it in the streets. I just came in not too long ago. You can feel it. You know what I mean? It's dry, bro. It's dry. The highways, you know, we got rough traffic out here. The highways, you could cut through in and out of lanes, no problem. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
Atlanta is known for having, you know, the most congested traffic. You know what I'm saying? The highways are always backed up. Like 2 o'clock looks like 5 o'clock. That shit bucket naked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could get to any part of Atlanta within 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is unprecedented. So, you know, what does it feel like if someone, I don't know if this is necessarily you, but someone is very patriotic and prideful in the strength and the vigor of this country, and they correlate that country to, I mean, they correlate that livelihood to activity. You know what I'm saying? And you don't see anything moving, and then you have all of these cultural references for the end of days, or when things come to a standstill. That means the collapse of society. That means I Am Legend. That means Book of Eli. You know, can you gather or personally speak for yourself what might be going on in the mindset and the ideology of people who might be dealing with uncertainty and fear
Um,
by not being used to what they're used to?
hmm. I want, I want, I didn't want to, I'm laughing because I was like, okay, you know, we haven't done this a while. Should I give a tough talkish answer? I'm gonna give a tough talkish answer. What people came for. Yo, look, if you are dealing with fear and uncertainty, you don't matter. You don't.
About that.
Because what's inevitable is inevitable, right? I was at a calisthenic park, right? And I was doing my pull-ups and I was doing my dips a few hours ago.
Right.
And it was people there and it was children there. And people was carrying on regular conversation, bro. And children were playing and people was on the pull-up bar and the dip bar. And I noticed that it was it was like two white dudes and like an Indian cat. And they was having like an intellectual conversation. And it made me think of something. I was like, yo, what separates America from Rome and Egypt and the rest of the civilizations that fell? Even the guy at the middle is a creative with a great mind on their with a great head on their shoulders. The problem solving in America is far superior than any civilization. I'm talking about a guy, a stranger, can come hook up a generator. I'm talking about the regular guy with ripped jeans. You don't know who he is. He's an electrician. He's a welder, right? He's a plumber,
Yeah,
right?
ill that, right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're in America, we're not top heavy. The homeless man could be a train killer, right? So if this thing was falling, it's so many brilliant minds here. It's different than other places. When Rome fell, it was top heavy. You know what I'm saying? The commoner was an astrologist.
The intelligentsia was.
What'd you say?
You're saying the intelligentsia was pretty much, at the top levels of government, the Senate, the Democrats, the emperor.
It didn't trickle down. That was an illiterate public.
Yeah, I had put a post up on Sunday. I believe Sunday was March 15th, and that's the Ides of March. That's the day in 44 BC when they assassinated Caesar. And I was looking at the correlations because he got did in by the Senate, and in many ways in this particular country, the correlations or the connections or the comparisons between Trump and Caesar have continuously, been made. And he has mentioned it on several occasions himself that he looks at himself as Caesar. And I found it very interesting, and the reverse happened to him. There was an attempt on his life, and he was saved by the Senate. So it's a very weird period in time when just a month or two ago, people were throwing darts, people were sharpening their knives, and they was waiting to carve this dude up. You know what I mean? And now this person, for the most part, is responsible for whether you domicile inside, come outside. He's pretty much in charge of shaping the destiny and the future of this country and ultimately the world. Because this is an interlocking global play that is now precipitated on the fluctuation and the movement of markets. And America plays an integral part in that particular dance. And this is the dude that has the two suede shoes. Interesting times.
I'm gonna read you something. And you tell me where you think this quote came from. Believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. Who you think said that? Believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy.
Trump probably said that out of one of them books.
I'll read you another quote. The trouble with most of us is that we would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism. Who do you think said that?
Damn. Did Trump say that?
Say the last one again.
I said, did Trump say that too?
I'm gonna tell you, right? And you'll know exactly. I'm gonna read you another one. People become really quite remarkable when they start thinking that they can do things. When they believe in themselves, they have the first secret of success.
This has to be Peele.
This is Norman Vincent Peale.
Norman Vincent Peale. And when I'm saying that Trump being an adherent to his philosophy and a student in his school, we can see him playing those words out in his actions.
Bro,
but can you
he's so optimistic no matter what's going on. That is very, very telling. Now, I'm not in the like business or dislike business. What I am is success leaves breadcrumbs. And this dude, even with this going on, in every interview, he says, we have the best this, we have the best that. If you're on his team, he bigs you up crazy. If you're not on his team, he squashes you. Right?
Correct.
If you're on his team, you're the best engineer, you're the best chef, you're the best policeman, you're the best accountant, best lawyer, right?
Yeah, he's
And,
always edifying.
and in every situation, he's optimistic with the belief that he can win. It's so crazy. This Minister Jew's a legend for when Trump got elected, and he broke Trump down on Brother Rich's show. He was a legend for that because he connected the dots between his thinking, why he thinks the way he does.
Yes, he did.
Now, when you rewind to the question that you asked me about the people, what's up with them? It's thinking, bro. Right? When you was talking about fear, when I just was reading the quotes by Norman Vincent Peale, none of this stuff is about fear. In every situation, it's belief. I'm down 30 with 2 minutes left. I believe I could win this game.
I believe I can win.
That's a thinking. And we say thoughts are things, right? This is what we say, right? We say thoughts are things. What kind of things?
Yeah. Not only that, that's technically a Mamba mentality.
That's Mamba mentality, right? That no matter what, I'm so confident in my abilities that I believe I believe I can fix this family. I believe I can get my finances together. I believe that I can ace this test no matter the situation. So you asked me about those that are in fear and uncertain. Fuck them. Who cares? If you're in fear, you need to stay in fear. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Am I uncertain? Sure. I don't know I'll be a fool to tell you what next week look like. I have no clue. The only thing I can do is adapt, adjust, and show up. Am I scared? No, I'm not scared. I'm not. And I don't even I don't even want to relate to anybody that's scared. What if it's time for people to go? Like, this disease is affecting baby boomers.
Facts.
Are they in the way? Yes or no? I know that's some people's grandmama in them, but I'm just saying though. If I was in the way, I would want the earth to take me off here. No reason for me to keep sucking up the white man's air, right? Right? So I've been hearing people say this is the ancestors stepping their hand in. Are the ancestors nice all the time, or are they mean? Because if we have nice ancestors, they're useless. I don't need nice ancestors. I need ancestors that are objective, that make the best play call for the big picture.
Facts.
Right? Right? So,
and not only that, again, even if the people are raised or indoctrinated in a religious system, then you even have to have communication and acknowledgement of a level of ancestry that is willing to render justice and judgment, because that's the scripture that you was raised on. And you would want to, if you tie yourself directly into the narrative, then the ancestors would be of the angels. They would be of the stock that you say that you come from. If you yourself are God, who are your ancestors? Right? So, yes, while there's a merciful aspect to what we acknowledge and call quote unquote God or the Most High, even in that scripture, he was a war god. So your ancestors have to be of that particular cloth or that particular ilk. And as a community and as a people, we have not collectively figured out how to activate that principle, call on that energy, or identify it in public when we see it. Right? It doesn't necessarily move through us. We still are interpreting stories from 3,000 years ago. Right? And we're fascinated by the history of God. The devil puts up points every single day on the board. He could show you his work in real time. He could show you his starting five right now in hip hop. They on demon time. He like, I got mine. Where yours at?
Hmm.
You all powerful. Why your people is hiding? Why their knowledge of you is only relegated to a history of you?
Hmm.
Where's your current plays at? Because I'm out here putting up points every single day, right?
Hmm.
And that is almost paramount to the fact that the children of the Most High are also in a position where they have been scored and dunked on every single day for the
Hmm.
last 400 years. And then there has been one day, right, where there was a pause in that activity, not one day off. And they can't point to a definitive celebrated day out of any calendar year where they're like, nah, that's the day that I put my motherfucking points on the board. This is the day that we're gonna celebrate when we did 44-0 on them, right?
Hmm.
So if the people of God, the body of God, or the body of Christ, and they have not been activated to a degree where they want to call on those ancestors to put in that work, right? Because they said that this, like you said, that this particular quote unquote virus is affecting elder people.
Hmm.
We are living during a time, as we were reminded by the documentary on Malcolm X, people that was still around when the TVs was in black and white, they still alive right now, right? There's people alive that was alive before the radio was in existence. And those people were also eyewitnesses to every single thing that took place with our quote unquote people that we are in pain about today, all the way from assassinations of quote unquote leaders, all the way up into crack, all the way to Obama, all the way to Trump, all the way to last 2 weeks ago when they killed that 44-year-old brother in Alabama. And if you look at the governor, she represents that particular stock in that age group of the very same people that they're saying that this quote unquote virus affects.
In the Malcolm X documentary, the people that are running around with the secrets of Malcolm assassination, how old are they? They're still alive.
Still alive.
So you telling me
A nigga, hold on. The nigga did 44 years. So look, he lived a complete life before he assassinated Malcolm, right? Did a whole bid for 44 years. I'm 44, son. He did a bid in the entirety of my life. Came home and he's still living his life right now to this day. He's still walking around. He's still being applauded and you know, people stay out of his way to this day. You feel me? So it's people walking the planet with that level of a book of Eli in them. What do we always say about Dick Gregory? You say he the book of Negroes. He was walking around in the new millennium with one foot in the new millennium, but he had the other foot in the 1800s.
so why not take him off the planet? So this is what I'm saying. So there's a movie called The Knowing with Nicolas Cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in The Knowing, everybody over 10 years old has to go. And it's like, yo, let the babies figure it out. Right? So the thing about it, here's where I go take a left field, is because I'm more curious about ancestry in the future. Because ancestry in the future has the answers that I need now. So just like old gods have to die,
Mm-hmm.
so do old ancestors. I know that's heresy to say something like that, but we want different. Do we want different responses to things that are going on? You have to do different things. If these names are not effective enough, then you must call different names. You know what I'm saying? In fact, This is very ambiguous when people say this. The ancestors. Who is that? Now, I used to watch Bobby call names out and pour libation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the names that he called out, they were attributes to specific things. A deity representing the wind, a deity representing the sand, a deity representing lightning, right? If your ancestor that you're calling on just had a job, I don't know how that's going to help somebody. Oh, yeah, they was a store clerk. What are you going to do with that? The reason why I say that is because Blue, you was talking to me the other day. What do you think Trump is calling on, fam? Because you was bringing this to my attention that all the shit around him be happening, but nothing happens to him. So what is he tapped into? What's he calling on, yo?
What I've been saying, I said, we already told you this nigga is Teflon Don. He got more motherfucking wiggles than the original Teflon Don from Queens. Because Giuliani squashed him. This nigga's untouchable. He's bulletproof. You feel me? It's like he got the blood of Jesus on him. But everybody in proximity to him gets hit, right? Either with indictments or the coronavirus. And this dude remains unbothered, you know what I'm saying, unfeathered. He's really on his 44 shit. So, when I'm looking at an entity like that, and again, me understanding how he's utilizing the fulcrum of that particular number to remain shielded in the blood of Christ or the blood of Jesus, it's unprecedented what faith and belief will do for you. And we spoke about this, and we spoke about the importance of it. And we spoke about even the fact that Napoleon Hill said you cannot manifest without having the foundation or the fundamentals of faith and belief. And because everything that we interface and interact with, and we were taught through a religious lens. So even when we hear those words, we only have a religious context for it. And we can't put it in its proper perspective or its proper persona to say, I can separate what those words mean or the power inherent in that particular energy, right? Without directly correlating it to something religious.
Blue, real quick.
Let me just take it one step further. So I feel that what we are witnessing in terms of the inability to activate the power of ancestors, especially ancestral ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And when I say ancestral ancestors, I mean those particular archetype whose names we are all familiar with. Now, the second tier ancestry would be the ones that are directly related to us, our direct descendant, who we can call upon and activate with name by setting up altars, right? Simple altars, a candle, right? A piece of white cloth and a cup of water, okay, with their favorite food. And you commune and talk and activate this particular principle. Who can run plays for you on the other side? Yeah, they may have been a carpenter. Yeah, they may have been a drunk. Yeah, they may have been that. But that's one more soldier in your army that you have running plays for you if you have magnanimous aspirations for doing something that is, larger than life. So the fact that we don't have a particular love in our hearts, right, for ourselves, we have this particular identity crisis that we're going through as a people. We have not collectively shifted through the lower three chakras, right, into the left path, which leads to the heart ultimately. People find God and they find their heart and they find love sometime in the streets on the left path. Because you're in contact with the dance of death every single day. So you're reminded of mortality. You're reminded of the fragility of life. You're reminded of split second divine interventions. You go through that shit constantly. And that brings you closer to an understanding, but you don't have a puritanical relationship or understanding of that creative force. You just like, yo, my angels is working. You know what I'm saying? My man is pulling. Somebody's up there, you know what I'm saying, looking over. You acknowledge that shit. You feel me? That don't mean that you're gonna go to church. That don't mean that you're gonna read the Bible or pick it up, but you acknowledge that the presence is always there. Because you hear them motherfucking hooves on your heels all the time, right? The angel of death is always an inch away. And you have to know how to motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Cut corners and hit degrees and angles. So without having that collective, activated heart as a body of people, the fact that you don't see melanated mans collectively in any corner section pocket of this planet, or particularly, let's say in this country, doing anything collectively with their hands, when more than two come together, right? God is present. Ain't no two hands, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 20, 50 men in the field putting food in the ground, massaging the earth. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no 50 men regiments and militias and battalions patrolling neighborhoods to say we're gonna clean this shit up, right? Niggas is not holding an entire motherfucking country hostage because they want the latest Jordans, right? Somewhere, somehow, someone has to breathe. So, and that's activating on a love principle to say, look, as men, we're gonna take things into our own hands. We're gonna boss up. Why? Because the shit is wide open. It's mad things on the table that we could take opportunity of without necessarily having to fire a shot or run up in the motherfucking courtrooms and none of that shit. There's grants, there's wild land available, there's plans, there's all sorts of shit. But if there's no unity, if there's no cohesion, right? Because we can create a spark, but we can't hold a charge. Why? Because them atoms don't come together for long. So we have that level of unity, and that is the principle which activates those ancestors. As long as we operate as individuals, we will never feel what the power of that collective God force is.
How come when you look like this, you have to be with other people? I don't get that.
Hmm?
I don't get that. Um that's something that is I scratch my head. I scratch my head on because yeah, you have families that run the world. Families, right? And for example, the Rothschilds, right? They had a financial agenda, right? They weren't united with white people, though. It's a family thing, and their marriages was based on an agenda, and everything was based on an agenda. And the only way we can connect shoulders if there was an agenda. Um, I think because when you look at the comment sections on social media or whatever, everything is, oh, we just need to come together. Oh, we just need to come together. Oh, we just need to come together. Like, what does that even look like? Yo? What does that mean exactly? What's that mean? Because what if it's just 5 people that think like you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough? Or does it take millions of people all marching down the street together? Like what does that look like? So back to Ayn Rand.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me say this. Ayn Rand has a book called Anthem, and it's an interesting book because there was come a time where the group your name was we. You couldn't identify as yourself. You couldn't self-actualize. It was we, right? And what it was talking about was a time before, right? Everybody was hooked up to this we thing, this we. So I'm gonna say again, think about what I'm saying. If you agree that we are in a digital reality, okay, so then that means we can't have our feet two places. Are we in a digital reality or are we in analog? Because if we are in a digital reality, then our whole brain must shift in terms of the world that it is now. And what I'm saying is are there ancestors 3,000 years from now? If so, and I call on an ancestor from 3,000 years from the past.
but look,
Will they be water and oil together?
There will be additions to the pantheon if, in fact, the ancestors that we're talking about 3,000 years from now are us right now, right? That's the beauty of it, is that you are the projection. There's nothing but you. You know what I'm saying? Because you carry the blood of your bloodline of your ancestry that led you to here. It didn't happen yesterday for you. Even though if your parents might have fucked up in this generation or the generation before them, you came from something that's expressing itself through you right now. And that's evidence of that. So there's a projection now that you are able to make into the future where, yes, you will be the ancestors of right now, or you're surrounded by the ancestors of right now that are going to be the ancestors of the future, right? Children are going to be calling on LeBron James as a basketball god. They're
Fact.
calling on Michael Jordan as a basket. This is the age of the ancestors. These are the
Fact.
legends, right? Because, like you said, it's the first time in a long time. We don't take into mind how current the TV is. That's not something that's been around forever and a day. So the common man with skill sets and talents is able to personify himself in a way in which he has a grasp of being part of the pantheon that will always be mentioned. Because the factual actual rule of ancestorship is as long as they say your name, you're alive. You dig what I'm saying? Shiggy's gonna be a fucking ancestor. I mean, it's mad niggas that exist in this digital realm, right? Because once the people are going off of this digital realm, this is the first wave of it. This is real world first season. This is for love. This shit ain't going nowhere. It's part of the story of a narrative that is going to be continuous and told forever. But the people who are the gods right now are the gods. Like
Yeah, I just come from ancestry I can't use.
there are new gods that are being made right now, and how they reconcile or wrestle with the angel of the past determines whether that particular angel will continue to live in the future. Some people are gonna, cannibalize the whole concept of quote unquote God, eat it and become it themselves. Other people are gonna drag that pantheon with them, right? Like, case in point, when they speak about Jay Electronica in the future as a hip hop god, he's always going to be connected to a continuum of which reaches back to older gods, which reach back to older gods, which reach back to gods that they're talking about trillions of years ago. You know what I'm saying?
But no, notice you're saying you're talking about a person of achievement,
So
right?
that's my illustration. Yes.
You're talking about a person of achievement and a particular skill set, right? So that's one thing to call on a person with a particular skill set, and that's another thing to call on people just because they existed, right? What was your behavior here on this planet? Because I'm just speaking for myself.
Mhm.
My bloodline did not have a behavior on this planet for me to call on them. That I can't use them as no type of swords. They wasn't running plays for me here, and they damn sure ain't gonna run a play for me there. Cause
So
you was who you was before you got here, you know.
my thing is one or two. Yeah, not necessarily one and two. You have a pick of the litter. And three, you very well, like I said, may be the present day expression of somebody that it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? You
Totally.
writing the story from here, but you have the ability though to write yourself into the narrative as a permanent player or a permanent, you know what I'm saying, actor in this particular theater of life that is being captured now. There's no more important time than the now.
Agreed.
And you have a contribution and an ill perspective that will exist and supersede beyond you. You're part of a conversation now that has crystallized you into the canon of time. So your concept in your mind and your narrative is going to be researched and studied after you're gone. So you start writing the narrative and the script for your bloodline here. You know what I'm saying? Even if you believe that because of how you feel about things that you can cut what came before you, it matters not. What you can focus on and put your energy in is to writing the script and the narrative that will supersede you right now. You dig what I'm saying? And the fact that we don't know how that's gonna end. That's the fucking excitement of guarding right now. That's why this shit is so fucking excitement. And people who have that level of appreciation of faith and belief should not be fearful. Should not be fearful. You dig what I'm saying? Because the possibilities are so exciting that that's the energy that you should be on. I think this is the perfect time, especially because they might, or they're looking at a probable quarantine period. We should give them an interesting book list. So when they do come up out of that, their minds will be so restructured about how to look at themselves in the mirror that when they come out, they're not going to recognize what they see.
I agree. Everything you just said, that was part of the me business about writing your own shit right now. I always say I'm in the me business, not the we business, right? So that's when you are self-made, not in terms of like resources, because somebody got to come give you shit, but I'm talking about in designing yourself. So I always, when I hear that ancestry rings my ear, I'll be like,
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing though. Like I said, it's 8 billion people on the planet, and we're not a monolithic people. You know what I'm saying? We are expressions of a billion different expressions. So what don't work for you don't work for you, but that don't mean that it don't work for somebody else. It's just another ray of light. So you don't need that to get your shit off, but somebody very well might be still crushed in that particular reality, and that's found their jump from. You know what I'm saying? And they've mastered being able to jump and dunk or put a fucking penny on top of a backboard by using that as a springboard. They've achieved that. I'm meeting people in the South that are women into religion that fucking work magic. And I'm not talking about, necessarily the cutting of throats magic and shit like that. I mean, just the work that they do in their perspective field and how they make things move and how they make things manifest and how they, you know what I'm saying? Like just magnificent people. And you see the power of manifestation oozing out of them, and they choose for whatever reason to give that glory to the person that they have, that they prostrate to. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't necessarily make them any less of an amazing person or people. I'm just saying that that's what they motherfucking lean on. So I'm like, yo, if that works for them, and it's been working, and they have worked through it not working to get it to a place where it works. I'm like, look at God, but that might not work for you. And I'd be like, look at God. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm only speaking for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only speaking for
Some
me.
people it's gonna be the me. Some
Yeah.
people it's gonna be the ego. For some people it's gonna be the we go. And the beauty of it all is that as long as everybody is moving to get to a particular place, you know, and not necessarily getting in each other's way, it's a beautiful thing to see, you know, that marathon, as the brothers say. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing to witness that victory lap, right? The elders and shit. I'll tell you a story about the elders in this community. The elders was banging on each other, right? And it never really became spoken to the public. But the people who witnessed it and the people who knew it and the people who were around it bore witness to it. We just kept it to ourselves. We used to look at the petty shit that the elders used to do to one another, right? And you know what the barometer for them of a win was?
Mm.
He who lasts wins, right? I see you at the finish line, right? Fuck your achievements, nigga. I'm still alive. I won. That's how the elders got it in.
Mm-hmm.
That was their motherfucking barometer for a win. You could have put mad points up on the board. I lived longer than you, right? So I be finding it funny that we are deaf culture. We are enthralled by death, entertained by it, and love it. But there's nothing more than we cherish than the gift of life. Everybody want to be here. Nobody want to check out voluntarily. You know what I'm saying? For the people who love it, let me speak for them because for what did they say? Children under the age of 25 for the first time ever the number one cause of fatality for them is suicide. That's never been a thing. So there are a lot of people who don't want to be here that are getting crushed by the weight of this particular social experiment that we call life. But for those that have made it around the motherfucking, lap a few times and have an appreciation and a vision to say, yo, I understand what that victory lap is about. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to witness because, like I said, it represents that probability factor. You know what I mean? Anybody, any one of us could be the ones to make this shit move, to make this shit pop, to make this shit blossom, transform and butterfly and metamorph into the next thing. You know what I'm saying? There's wild solutions on the table right now. This shit is like a conundrum because while this shit is falling, like all the motherfucking opportunities are opening up.
Facts.
All of the pathways to $1 billion is wide open. You can see it just with an app that you just now discovered, opportunity, a phone call you just had. Like, oh shit, this shit is here finally, and you can't even go outside and get to it. It's like outside your window, and you quarantine. You like, yo, it's right there. I see it, but I can't fucking open the window up because they just let an atom bomb off or something like that. Imagine what the people grew up with in 1944 and 45 when they was testing the atom bomb, and that was now their new reality. Oh shit, these niggas put a mushroom in the cloud. Right? What was the psychological imprint of children who witnessed that? What did that do to them? Do they have research or studies on that shit? And you talking about PTSD? Niggas seen the mushroom cloud, and they said that they knocked out windows in the 5-mile vicinity when they tested this shit because they ain't tell nobody they was testing it. It came out of nowhere, right? So I said, man, these are some interesting times. Even this new introduced concept of social distancing. This is a major social experiment of the likes of which I have never bore witness to.
Is it? Is it? Is it really?
I mean,
multiculturalism was an experiment. Before multiculturalism, how did people behave? They were clans.
They were isolated onto themselves, yes.
Right. So what is going on right now? People are forced to be with who? Your clan.
Your tribe, right?
Right. So the ideal of America was a phenomenon in itself.
That's what
you know what I'm saying? To bring these people from all over the world and put them into one spot and force them to get along. You force them to do commerce with each other, force them to go to school with each other.
Right. It was a man, how can we say it? Agreed upon societal experiment. You know what I'm saying? You was allowed to believe that it was a gift to be here. Look, these are the rule books. You get put on game right at Ellis Island. This is what's going on over here. This is the operation. This is the operation manual. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that are out of bounds. Don't get caught over here. Don't go over there. You dig what I'm saying? The world could be yours.
I'll do you one better. The people been away from each other. If you go to the club 2 months ago and you in the club, people are out their tables like this.
On their phone.
Go to a sporting event. People are recording the sporting event just to upload it to their followers, right? So the ideal of social distancing been going on, dawn of social media, the dawn of AOL, Black Planet, right? Look at all the dating apps. You got POF. You even got a farmers dating app called Farmers Only. You got gay dating apps. You have Black People Meet. You have eHarmony. You have Match.com. You have swinger apps, right? You got tranny apps, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at the porn sites. You have Rock and Shay. You have X Videos. You got Pornhub, right? So what that's saying is like, you know what? I can have an experience with this virtual chick. I don't even have to go outside. So people been separated from each other, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't people don't play outside like that no more.
Nah, that
You
stopped.
know what I'm saying? So people hang out right here. So it's not necessarily social distancing for real, because the comment section on the shade room is cracking,
Right. Yeah, they in the
right?
building. Yeah.
The Facebook, the shares. For somebody to go and like your picture right now, are you separated from people? You still getting the same dopamine. Oh shit, what's up, yo? Yo, I like your hat. Somebody else inbox you. Yo, what kind of hat is that? What kind
Right.
of shirt is that? Right? So not really, because people are in the cloud, and this is where the world is going anyway. This is Ready Player One.
Huh.
This is where we're at right now, right? So this is the full assimilation into the world of tomorrow.
Huh.
It's happening right now. So I sent you the article about Amazon and about what they're doing with shipping or whatever,
If you
right?
speak on it.
Right. So Amazon is not shipping a lot of products. They're testing it out between here and April 5th, right? So if you are a hands-free business, you just was mentioning opportunities, right? The crazy opportunities, right? Let's go into what kind of opportunities are there in right now, right?
Right.
So what is the opportunity right now for people to create companies with products that you don't touch? Well, now what's that look like? Cool. So right now, Atlanta, Blue,
Mm-hmm.
they're closing the strip clubs. Now those girls need to dance.
They said that?
Yeah, Magic is closing.
Oh shit, it's going down.
Magic is closing, right?
Dang.
So Magic is closing, and the strip clubs are going to shut down until further notice. Now, does that mean, do those girls still have the dancing and twerking ability? Yes or no?
Damn sure do.
Okay, so now, what if I was to bring them into my mansion and stream them now? Same shit, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the only person that loses in this relationship is the guy that owns the strip club, right?
Yeah.
Because he needs people to dance, and 9 times out of 10, he got his alcohol on consignment. Why is he losing? Because he has a brick and mortar spot.
Right.
That he needs the girls to perform. Now, I would win if I have the stripper streaming service, because people still want to see that. Now I can bring it to you in your home, right?
Or on your phone.
In your home or on your phone. So
Right.
the opportunities are endless, because nothing stops. It's just, you don't, to print up t-shirts is primitive, right? Instead of printing up a t-shirt, you wear my content. So you have USB wristbands, USB chains, stuff like that, right? Your shirt is not necessarily your content for real, because you need you need the post office to ship this. What happens when the post office goes out of business? How are you going to get this t-shirt to California? What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Instead, I'd rather send you the file. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities are for people to, that same content that you create on your Facebook page. So every now and then I do a Facebook audit, and I just go to an old account to see what people are talking about. I mean, people have long ass paragraphs on Facebook, and I'm like, yo, that's content, yo. If you got $1 for it, so what? That's content. That same thing that you're doing there, you can package that up and edit it. There's so many apps on your phone. You have InShot. You have I can just tell you so many apps where you can cut your content up, the same shit, and create a video, create a series, create a podcast, and and sell it in bits. If you're a real estate person, you've been getting your money flipping houses. What happens when the market changes is your most valuable resource is not your skill to flip houses. Your most valuable resource is the fact that you can teach that. Do you want to keep flipping houses, or you want to teach other people how to flip houses and create an MLM from it? So if I teach you the game, every house that you sell, I get a percentage off of it. That's the contract that we could come up with.
Fact.
If you know how to make shea butter, if you know how to make oils, if you know how to make necklaces, right? Your skill set is not the fact that you can make it. The skill set is the fact that you can teach it.
Facts.
So what you do is you run it exactly like an MLM, right? So you do your webinar, you get free front end product, which is you create the aha moment of telling people that they need that service. And then you get people on contract. So this is what pimps used to do in the game. Pimps used to take a young dude, teach him the game, and then that young dude will go out, get him some hoes, get some money, and then come out and always hit the pimp with envelopes for teaching him the game. That's like an MLM. Now, what happens if he teach 10 people the game? He could go ahead and sit back and collect. Right? The opportunity is your knowledge base, yo. It's time to be the teachers now, instead of and remove yourself from the front line. So don't worry about someone, oh man, they know my recipe. So what? So what? Teach them the recipe. Remember, they pay $250 for the class. If you charge, if 1,000 people did that, you in the game like EA Sports. Right? So the opportunities are right here. Boo, right as we speak. How many people you think is on here right now? On their phone as we speak?
Oh,
billions.
on period, yeah.
Billions.
2.5
billions.
Oh.
It's 3.7 billion internet users, period. Almost 4 billion. Almost half the world is on the internet. How many you think is on right now?
2 point something.
Yeah, like 1.8 billion is on their phone right now.
Yeah.
Easy. Right? So this is the opportunity. If you come from generational poverty, you can scale right now because everybody's on their phone right now. Go to Twitter and put quarantine and chill. You're about to see all the baddies twerking. And it's gonna be dudes in their inbox talking about how much I can send you. If you're a woman right now, you should be able to get crazy money because manhood is at an all-time low, where niggas just have pussy up at a crazy pedestal where they will literally pay you to play with your cat on instant messenger. Hell of a good trade-off.
Slap.
Slap your pussy 5 times for 150 and you never have to see this person again. That's amazing. Now, a nigga like me, I'll be thinking, how can I do that for 100 people?
Slap.
I'm just saying, the opportunities are endless. No, not even that. You got dudes out here with long pipe. My dude, what you gonna do with that? We're in a quarantine stage. It's chicks that want to see that. And they got income tax money. They will pay you to see your rod, bro. Facts. Jack off on them for $50, $60.
Slap.
Don't pay. Those it sounds trivial.
Yeah.
It sounds trivial, but these are opportunities right now.
Right. People if you can't break down a eighth, you can't break down a brick. People gonna break down themselves and start selling parts, right? It's a body part motherfucking industry out here. You think that's not gonna transfer to the digital phase? Look, these niggas is in the demiurge, bro. They calling themselves demons. They gonna find a way. So get ready. You know what I'm saying? Get your rose-colored glasses. You know, it's just finna go down. I mean, there's an element of the dark web. All of that is gonna come to the surface when the lights go out. So, you know, this is a very tumultuous period. You're gonna see some things. You know, especially if you know your intent is to represent the total reverse spectrum of cosmic light, then you have to understand that the depths of darkness It's finna be on us.
Yo, you know what's weird is people rather be afraid than take advantage of an opportunity. What the fuck is the purpose of having a $700 phone, yo? What are you supposed to do with that shit, yo? Yo, if they do a travel ban, right? Now, mind you, I need people to think about this for a second, right? Because my shit is game. I'm not a conscious nigga. I'm a game nigga. So I'm going to talk to the people on some game shit. Right now, there's never been a crisis like this. There's never been a crisis where people had money. People have money right now. It's income tax time. So the shit that I'm saying sound trivial. I'm in the money business. I'm not in the feelings business. I'm not in the melanin business. I'm in the money business. People have billions and billions of dollars on their debit card with nowhere to spend it. And they're talking about this thing could go till August. Now, most of you motherfuckers gonna starve, right? Because you think Black Jesus is gonna come out and deliver you out of this shit. So have at it. I'm talking to the game people. I'm talking to people that can look at this time right now and seize the day, carpe diem, right? Right now, you work your best assets, right? Especially if you're doing it non-contact. Now, stripping, that's great. But if you can do that and no man touches you, that's even better. You know what I'm saying? If you a dude and you got a great body and women will pay you for it and you don't got to sleep with them, that's genius, right? If you are a teacher, if you got jewels, if you got shea butter, if you got whatever your thing, and you can teach people and you don't physically have to leave your house, that shows intellect and creativity and innovation. Now, mind you, let me say this again. There's never been a crisis in America where on average people have $3,000 in their bank account. You know why? This is the time, I told this to you earlier, Blue. This is a big deal. This is the time where people usually buy a new car. So people usually put 15 to 2,500 down payment on a car. Ain't nobody got no cars right now. So that 2,500 is sitting on someone's account doing what exactly? Nothing. And you won't send a video of your titty for $200, man? Fuck out of here, yo. Like, huh? So look, so this is the thing. Those that took advantage of opportunity, I don't think should help people that didn't. Now, if you tried to take advantage of opportunity and you failed, you was in the game, that's different. But if you did nothing, you was on your conscious trash ass high horse. Oh, wow. It took a while for the tough talk to come out. There it go. I feel it. There it go. We ain't did it in a while. There it go. All right, cool. There it goes. It's a little too calm.
You gave it to yourself, like,
yeah, there it go. But if you sitting on your trash ass high horse talking about so look, so those that get it, mind your business when these other people is fucking starving, yo. Straight like that. You know what I mean? So Blue, during the Great Depression, people didn't have no money. This is a crisis that hits when income tax is hitting because you can run America from the home. Data entry specialists, IRS people, right? They're at home, my dude.
Country from your phone, literally.
You know what I'm saying? Half the people that's hitting your line talking about you owe this company, you owe that company, they're at the crib, my dude. You know what I'm saying? Right? So this is why you don't see any rioting, bro. People got money, right? Not only do people have money during this crisis, people have streaming networks. People have Disney Plus. This is the most comfortable crisis in the history of America.
Yeah, they got options.
They're still going to the shade room
in droves.
Did you understand?
Oh, they're there for it. They got a
They
cat
there.
audience,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
And they're carnivorous. You seen the meme where they showed that coronavirus, if you break down the words in the anagram, it equals carnivorous. If
Oh
people
wow.
are hungry, they got a different type of appetite. So they're consuming at an all-time high right now, right? Those news channels is popping right now. People are looking at 24-hour news cycles, right? To get an understanding of, because literally you have to in order to keep up. But there's other people online. There's other people that, like you said, some people are escaping, some people are doing voyeurism, but there's definitely an uptick in attention and retention. You know, people is glued in. But let me ask you this: what happens if they turn the internet, or somehow, some way, the internet goes off?
Dark ages.
What does it look like then?
Dark ages. Dark ages. Rap. See you when I see you.
So the internet is the only thing that's holding this thing together.
That's it.
Mhm.
Facts. There's so that means there's no flights.
Right. So technically, I mean, look at this. Again, look how scripture plays itself out. Now we live in a time where they said there's a city in the cloud, right? Now you see what that means in scripture? There's a
Mm.
fucking city in the cloud. The shit is being held together by something that doesn't exist. I go into scrying when I do my Law 44 lecture, right?
I'm on that.
Yeah. When I go into my Law 40, see, this is shit they gotta pay for. When I go into my Law 44 lecture, I talk about scrying devices are described as phones, Black Mirror. This is a Black Mirror, right? This is a Black Mirror, just like the TV show that you look at. So when they talk about scrying devices, that's your ability to create reality from carbon matrices, right? That Black Mirror is a carbon matrix. It mimics the melanin line matrix of what they say is quote unquote, universal or open space. So I always say, where does cyberspace exist? Because we are interacting and interfacing in a dimension that we can't localize. You can't tell me where cyberspace exists. It's in the cloud. It's a city in the cloud. So humanity, society, and our reality is being held together by a city in the cloud. And if that city collapse, then Earth collapse.
There's no
All
planes.
hell breaks loose. And
All hell
what comes out of that,
turkey.
what survives that will be now, quote unquote, heaven on earth, whatever version it looks like. The fact that you might motherfucking come out and still have a garbage can to eat out, that might be heaven on earth for you.
Facts.
You
No
understand?
planes. No planes. No, if there's no internet, there's no planes, right? The buses, the trains, our whole way of life, right? First world, right? We don't know that reality. You know what I'm saying? So the running water, you know what I'm saying? Our whole system of government is set up on the cloud, bro. You know what I mean? So full scale anarchy. Personally, I'm straight on surviving doomsday. If I can't have shit with amenities, if I can't have the marble countertop, nigga, if I can't have food in the fridge, nigga, if I can't have running water, I'm straight. I'm not fucking Rick from Walking Dead. I'm cool on that shit. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I'm cool. Like, let me be the part of the first wave that get up out of here. I'm an American for real. I enjoy my life a certain type of way. And if it ain't finna be that, then I'm good, my nigga. My life was wavy. I'm good. I'll go to the next shit. Why do I want to survive doomsday, nigga? Like, what the fuck? And do what?
Right.
And do what? Man, I'm too old for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if the internet go, I'm that's the one bet that I'm making. I'm betting on the internet, bro.
So say if the internet go, you out of here.
I'm gone, son. Fuck out of here. I'm keeping it a buck with you, bro. I'm good, my nigga.
Yeah. I know you dead ass though.
Hey.
You did, yeah. I felt that.
Hey, what he saying? Paid in full, no chicken, no rice, no nothing. Nigga, no haircuts, no do-rags, nigga. You know what I'm saying? No title, no listening to music, nigga. I'm straight, bro. I'm straight. Cool, bro. I'm cool, my nigga. I'm just keeping it a buck. But you know what? But you know what? There's some people that want to keep it pushing and push humanity forward. That's cool. More power to you. Like I was taught when you die, junk DNA come alive. So it's more levels than this. If that's the case, then let me free up out this motherfucker. I came. I'm root shock for Poppy. You know what I'm saying? What they be calling me in the chat? They be saying I'm on my lower nature. Yeah, I'm the lower nature guy. That's me, nigga. Lower nature, yeah, right? It's funny. The higher nature people y'all be showing y'all plates of food online. This shit look trash. So if the higher nature comes with an unwavy lifestyle, I'm lower nature. I'm root chakra Poppy, nigga, straight up. What the fuck is the purpose of being thinking on a higher frequency, nigga, and your car got a donut? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, come on now. If you're gonna be on a high frequency, then your quality of life should be high frequency. Your trip should be high frequency. Your man or your woman should be high frequency. Your kids should be high frequency. Everything in your life should be high frequency. Talking all this high frequency and low vibration shit. Fuck out of here, nigga. This is quarantine and pop, nigga. Yeah, fuck out of here. But no internet, blue. I'm straight, bro. You know what I'm saying? that's the 100. So with the internet, since it's here to be used. In what manner though? Not for scrolling. It's not here for scrolling. It's here for making a move. What kind of move? Planting your flag. Again, I can't stress this enough. If everybody is hanging right here, then that means you want to deliver shit directly to them where they hang out. Even changing. So let's explain vertical integration, right? For those that never heard the term of vertical integration. So in the normal model, like, okay, so this shirt says Ken Billions, right? I got someone made this shirt for me. All right. So say people wanted to buy it, then I would have to continually go to the person that made the shirts to keep making it, and then I'll sell it. So what if someone in Canada wants the shirt? Then that means I gotta go to the person that made it. Now I gotta pay another cost of distribution. Vertical integration is I make the shirts. I make it, I manufacture the shirts, and I take the shirt.
Every step in process.
Every step of the way. I'm integrated vertically, right? So if you're selling t-shirts right now or hats, you are really dependent on distribution. Now, distribution is one of the biggest businesses there is in to be. So when you ask yourself, why does artists sign certain deals? Distribution, because these artists don't have trucks to move 100,000 units to a Walmart in the Bay Area.
And trucks.
That's a big deal.
National distribution. They might be local artists and master pumping out of their trunk, but you don't have 1,000 trunks, right? So that's where a record label come in. They like, oh, not only we got trunk, we got more trunk space than you. You know?
Yeah. So that's why you signed a deal.
Right? Because we got to pay for gas, we got to pay for the plastic, we got to pay for storage, we got to pay for shelf space, we got to pay for spend. So when we finish, you get 5 cents off of that $20, but we still ate because I moved 1 million of these.
Yo,
you like?
Which is, so you seen Meg? Meg was just going over her contract, right? 40%. And when I heard the details of her shit, I was like, damn, yo, you getting 40%? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's high as fuck.
Unheard of.
Yeah, you know. So because of distribution now, so vertical integration. So right now, everybody that's listening to this, you are in a position for vertical integration. The only thing that you're outsourcing is the fact that you're using a platform like Twitter, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. That's it. You make the content, you cut the content up, you're the star in all your content, you're writing up treatments for the content, and you're using social media as a distribution center, but you use it as a distribution center to bring it back to a home of yours. So in essence, your bet is on the server. You're making a bet that the server is going to be there tomorrow. Now, the reason why you want to bet on the server, which is on the internet, see, like I said, if the internet falls, then you back in the dark ages. Fuck it, everybody fucked up. The internet is the best bet you got going right now. It's more. It has shown. A Blue, was there ever a day in since the internet started that you can remember it was off?
No. It's been on since
For like 20 years, huh?
95, yeah, been on.
So since Skynet had been on,
Hence they've said that the internet is undefeated. Hence
the
the internet and the streets is undefeated because they never go to sleep. How about that?
whoa. So
Cousin of death, you die every day.
so then I'll make a then it's cool. I'm a gambling man. I'm gonna go ahead and gamble that this thing that I'm using is gonna be here tomorrow and tomorrow after that and tomorrow after that. Right?
Facts.
So the opportunity to change one's life is gonna come from the thing that you can predict and bet on.
Yeah. You know, that technically, like we were saying, or let me tie it together, that is the new God because the lights are on 24/7. God's light is only on Sunday. The church light is on one day out of the week. You know what I'm saying? The devil is available 24/7. The internet is on all day, every day. And Google answers you in split seconds. Like you said, you know, you got to go through channels to get to God. The reverend tell you got to go through the deacon, got to go through the pastor, got to go through the priest, got to go through the pope. You dig what I'm saying? And then you got a call log waiting time for God. He got to go through the call queue. We got to go through his secretary. You feel me? So by the time they go all the way up to the big homie, what type of position you in when you need something instantaneous? Not only in real time, but in a split second, because that's how quick you could lose your life. So what is this thing about praying to Christ and waiting 500, 400 years for him to answer the prayer? Like, who got time for that? Google do this shit in a split second, right? But your animal instincts, when you don't rely on nothing but yourself, or you responding in real time because you'll be fucking eating out here. So like I said, that's that street. When you're in the street, you have a different appreciation and understanding of creative force. It's not good or bad. It's there when you need it. And it reinforces itself every single day because it reminds you that you're alive. You got to bite at the gambit to remind yourself. Then you really appreciate what take the sweet taste or the bitter taste of life. You know what I'm saying? You turn to sweet. And your success is that you live to the next day. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm 44. That's successful within itself. I lived through the 90s, my nigga. And I had to live through the 80s to get there. You know, so where I come from, that's a success within itself. That's a success story within itself. You know?
Yeah.
The internet is fucking God.
Totally.
It's literally the thing that holds reality, humanity, society, the world together. It is the motherfucking international highway. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when I was born, okay, Atari came out before me. So let's consider arcade games the internet as well. Because it was putting you in another reality. So I don't know a world without that. Right? Nintendo, I remember that, right? But I remember Atari, I remember Pitfall, right? So I don't know, I'm 36 years old. I don't know a world without the cyber element to it. Right? And so this is where I'm going to make my bet. The U.S. Postal Service is a volatile market. You see, it can slow down. So if it slows down, how are you going to distribute your work? Right? This has shown that this makes the fastest millionaires the internet. This has shown it is a little more successful when it comes to finding a mate as well, right? Because it's targeted. You can target you can preference what you want, right? Your profile can say you want a man that's 6 foot and above that makes $150,000, and that's the only kind of man you'll see. You can't really do that in your day-to-day life. You don't know who's who. You know what I'm saying? So the internet is proven to be more efficient.
It's an effective tool, right? In anything that man yields on his tool belt, because it is now a tool. You're here to work in the work shed, right? As the Masons would say, this is how you fashion and you form reality. So if you ignore the fact that there are superior tools for you to do your craft work on this plane and this planet, then yeah, you're not gonna make the jump. You're not part of the current futuristic conversation. They're like, oh, fuck out of here. Why would you ignore that and still be caught up in this? You know what I'm saying? That's not wavy. You're not part of this wave, right? And then you end up getting washed up. So think
So
times.
so right now,
Burying
so
a water bearing, total washing up.
you said what now?
And this is an Aquarian age. Aquarius represents the water bearers. I had made note of the coronavirus when it was approaching, when it was in China. The fact that they first identified it as coming out of a fish market. I was locked into my narrative at that time, coming out of December, talking about Christ consciousness and the signs that I was seeing about this particular messianic force that I saw rising by way of the harbinger of Nipsey Hussle's transition in March of last year. So they started talking about the fish market. So mentally, I think Pisces is a motif for Jesus. And then they said it was a serpent. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? But both of these are motifs of water signs. So I said, oh, once the shit, because they're correlating it to the water. I said, this is something that's going to jump the water. And then they was programming it with 44. So I'm like, okay, so this is bloodborne. This is dealing with a bloodline, you know, and it's tied in because this is the 44 energy of this year is already templated. And 4 is an omen number for China. So I said, okay, this shit is going to spread like wildfire. So when it jumps the ocean, when it jumps the water and comes to America, it's going to go baby on baby, right? And how did it jump? When they identified it in Korea on the cruise ship in the water, maritime, they said 44 Americans had it. I said, oh, that was it. They put a ritual off. They just put him in maritime in the water, hit him with the 44, connected it, you know what I'm saying, through the bloodlines, and all of a sudden they were in the water with it. And look what it's doing when it actually got to these particular shores. So, I say all that to say that I recognize that still cosmically as the ushering in the Aquarian age of a cleansing that is not going to, you know what I'm saying? In the book, they said this time it will be through fire. In Noah's time, it was through water. This is through fire. So hence Corona. Corona is the sun, right? This is simultaneous a coronavirus at the same time as Corona rising, you know? So there will be gods that come out of this period in time, but they will be forged through fire. You know what I'm saying? The new gods, the new Christ. It's not going to be identifiable, but it will come through fire through this. And this is what that corona represents.
And it's gonna come from the internet.
And it's going to come through the internet because that's the fulcrum, the medium through which God is born at this particular time. It's instantaneous. Hip hop was a divination platform or station that you can go from mere mortal to God overnight. Nothing else did that for melanated men in this world or in this country, other than you probably go into an NOI class and hearing the lessons in the words of Elijah Muhammad. He said the black man is God, and tomorrow you wake up totally, thinking different about yourself and ignited. You know what I'm saying? But in hip hop, you could be knighted from a mere mortal to a god in one night, right? Let's say you go to fucking Latin Quarters. KRS-One was homeless before he got on that stage and tore this shit down, and he left there God and never turned back. You know,
Hmm.
so the internet. Think about Soldier Boy. Think about what he represents, right? Think about the character in American God who represent the deity of the internet. Think about his resemblance almost to a Soldier Boy, right? Soldier Boy is an analogy. He's an anomaly.
Hey, Blue, what does Professor Xavier use to connect with all the mutants?
It's mine.
That cerebral joint. That's the internet.
Oh yeah. Fact.
That's the internet,
Yeah, it's the World Wide Web.
right? He's able to tap into he's able to tap into everybody, right?
Yeah,
Right. So the scriptures that they talk about God being omnipresent and all knowing.
yeah.
Isn't the internet
I'm
all knowing?
Hmm?
Is the internet all knowing?
Absolutely.
Is the internet omnipresent?
Absolutely.
What can I ask Google right now that God can answer and Google can't?
What is the law 44?
You're gonna come up.
Oh, facts, yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna get that answer.
I'm used to, because somebody was in the shop the other day and he was like, yo, what that Shungite do? And I was like, all right, let me tell you, before I could tell him, he asked the phone and the bitch was telling him a metaphysical breakdown and shit. I was hearing shit that I ain't even know. Your phone do that? They was like, oh, you ain't know you can ask your phone anything. And it talks back to you. I'm like, that's like Siri and them. I'm in the dinosaur age. He was like, nah, that's not even that. And it was like your phone. We was asking the phone wild shit. The phone knew everything in its own language. I was like, whoa.
So for me to help people understand the internet better, the internet comes out of man's mind, just like man comes out of something else's mind.
Facts.
When you look at the engineering, at the way the human being is built, right? So things aren't random. You have a heart. Your heart is protected by a rib cage,
Okay,
right?
right.
You have your anus in the back of you, not in the front of you, right? You break wind. That is the past. That reflects something that you ate before, right?
You leave your waist behind, right?
Your waist behind. You have a thumb, which is very interesting because the thumb right here allows you to do certain things, right?
They said this is the evolution of man. This is what makes man fire, stump.
You have cells in your body that fight off other cells, right? When you look, you have a penis. It goes in the vagina, right? The sperm goes to the egg. That right there, that chemistry, scientists will say, these are random events occurring over billions and billions of years because of environmental change. I strongly disagree, right? There is a engineering at play, right? Now some people call it the Anunnaki, some people go back to the Sumerian texts, reptilian races, whatever, right? One thing that is common is creation. Creation creates, right? Man tried to domesticate animals in a human way. You get a dog to behave like a human, sit. You want the dog to defecate on a paper the same way a human would. You want your parakeet to talk like you, right? So we're created in something else's image, but the creation always kills the creator. It always supersedes the creator.
Fact.
So the reason why the internet behaves the way it does is it because it's the highest level of human imagination. We have uploaded the internet, the cloud, with every single thing about ourselves, right? And it's another form of spirituality because it exists where, right? It exists where? So man creates God. We did it in the past with mythology, and we're doing it again with the internet. So when I say Google is God, that's true. When I say the internet is God, that's true. When I say the internet will answer your prayers, that's true. When I say the internet will change your life, that's true. Some people say, what would Jesus do? No, what would Google do? What would your YouTube do? And if you don't know how to use this, you and your family will go extinct. I guarantee it. This is a fact. If you don't go extinct physically, you will represent the permanent underclass. Now, based on the algorithm, if you represent the permanent underclass now, there will be no John Connors in the future to come deliver you out of the permanent underclass. You will stay there. You will become a new species that conforms and adapts and adjusts to living in that type of way. I'm talking about for millennia. There will be no Messiah to come give you a master grip to pull you out of the grave. There is no a lion's grip that could take you out of the permanent underclass. You don't have to believe me. You know what I'm saying? Just carry on the way you're carrying on. But I know old people that can't send an email right now. Their finances are affected by that.
Mm.
I know old people that are their finances are affected by the fact that they don't know how to type. The way their world has completely disappeared right in front of them while they're alive. You think you think they're going to be okay? So this is an opportunity to change. This is an opportunity to get a crack in, because if we go into a travel ban and social distancing from now until August,
But yeah,
how you gonna make money? How you gonna make money? What's your money plan? If you a tap dancer, you better flip that camera phone around and be like Gregory Hines and Savion Glover and get them damn cash apps. You better hustle your feet. If you know how to braid hair, you better flip that camera around and talk about braid techniques.
there's a wonderful opportunity for people that if you know how to use the internet, you can make a lot of money explaining how to use it, like simply step by step, the basic shit, because that's what your grandparents and your parents and the rest of them, they can utilize that right now to play catch up. This is the last ditch effort, hope that they have, because how they gonna eat? How they gonna communicate with you? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna communicate with them to find out if you on the other part and they over where they at, and you can't call the phones or what have you, but you can only communicate through email, you know? So there's an opportunity with teaching them the basics. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Just teaching them the basics. People don't know the basics out here. And in particular, it's the elders, it's those people that come under that particular affliction, of running the threat of being washed up by this particular virus. It's killing off a generation. The earth is shedding itself. And then, the real test and the real challenge comes with the fact that in order to have these things on this internet, the way that we're talking about it, and for it to, because it's going through a rebirthing process, right? The people are going through a birthing process, but the internet has to be birthed into the internet of all things. And in order for that to happen, they have to utilize 5G technology. In order for that to happen, you know what I'm saying? The people have to acquiesce to that particular switch going on, because that's going to take a whole lot of people out in a real quick time. And then the conversation will be, will is it worth it to sacrifice nature for the internet? And then that decision has to be made. And when that decision is made, that's what the people have to live with. and that's going to change reality altogether. Okay, because it's going to tear nature up, and this will not be, just like you are quarantined, and this is a digital-based reality. This will not be a surface-based reality. This might not even be a physical-based reality. It might literally be a virtual one, where you can only exist in this reality in a simulated fashion, uploaded somewhere virtually, because the surface is going to be totally radiated. In order for us to experience the continuous of what we're talking about, for even being able to come on the field and play with the big boys when this shit goes virtual and holographic, and what I'm saying, you can motherfucking interface in virtual reality and make money that way, and step into the next phase of how to make that motherfucking that crypto, that digital money, that new dollar. Oh no, you gonna have to pay a price for that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Blue. When you watch Man of Steel or certain movies, right? They always tell the same tale that the species, this humanoid species, fucked up their planet.
Hmm.
The Anunnaki had to go mine gold other places, right? All right. When you watch Transformers and Cybertron, do you think Cybertron started like that or it became like that?
Game like that.
It became like that. That means it was something else before, right? So this seems like this is the theme of the human germ, is that we was gonna get here, we're gonna get here regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way that our minds is set up. So we're going like we go to info meters. We see how much coal is left. We see how much oil was left. This seems to be based on the mythologies. This seems to be the behavior of the species, and you have no choice but to become cyber. Now, what if the cyber is evolution based on whatever's going to happen cosmologically?
Right. What if you need that outfitting and that shielding for you to survive the real corona when the second sun gets come, when the shit gets hotter, and you having, this skin alone won't survive. You have to have a level of polymer in your skin for you to survive climate change, which heats the planet up to a certain degree, where now you have to have a different skin to exist on the surface. And there has to be some level of genetic mutation for you to exist in that environment. So what if this is a forceful metamorphosis to prepare you for the jump, for the leap? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Is
When you look up at the moon, bro, the moon looks like it went to some pretty interesting phases, right?
facts.
It looks like those craters are big as fuck,
Niggas.
right?
Yeah, they
What
look
was hitting
back.
it? What was going on with that?
Hmm.
Did the moon used to have life on it? You know what I'm saying? And are we representative? What'd you say?
Did they bomb that shit out?
Did they bomb that shit out, my dude? You know what I'm saying? Um, because it's interesting, yo. Elijah Muhammad doesn't say that black people are 100 years old or 200 years old.
Hmm.
He uses an interesting word,
Fact.
trillion,
Trillion.
right? And Elijah Muhammad in How to Eat to Live talked about the people on Mars living to 1,000 years old.
Facts.
So what we know as existence and what we know as reality, do we even really have a clue, right? You can blow a dog whistle and can't hear it. So that means it's colors, shapes, it's frequencies, it's shit that we're not even aware to, that's dead in front of our face, that we don't have an awareness to, right? Right? Because what is really being alive, right? So with the internet of things and the way that things are going, it seems as though this is our destiny. This is our destiny because if it's true that earth crust displacement does occur and pole shift does occur, if earth crust displacement occurs without humans evolving into something else, what happens to the species? If a big object in the cosmos comes close to earth and throws off the earth's gravitational pull, and humans don't adjust to that, what happens to the species? So you might have to give up nature or what you consider nature, right? You might have to get it up for your own survival. I don't think you give it up for printing paper, you know what I'm saying? But in the world of cybernetics and shit like that, you may have to. You know what I'm saying? I'll get chipped up. If I could get some robot arms and shit, I would. Yeah.
I mean, you know, once again, if we was
See,
prime,
nigga, you see this eye?
$1 million man.
Bro, do you see this eye?
Yeah.
I'm blind. Like literally blind.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
It's not
You
a
think I'm gonna get the Scott Summers eye, nigga? You think I won't get the eye?
fact.
You know, I ain't been able to see through this shit in damn near 20 years. You don't think I would do something about that?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If I had the opportunity to make a human upgrade to reach new heights that I would never have met before because of science,
Right. If they tell you they got the chip that can make you fly,
I'm going.
you finna turn that down?
Fuck no.
Appreciate your honesty.
I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm getting my shit and I'm putting cases on. No, you bitch. No, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, because when you look at human limitations, bro, Blue, you know what's so crazy? That man has damn near perfected accidentless planes.
Explain.
Planes barely crash.
Oh, accidentless planes, right?
Yeah. You know how many planes be in the sky, bro, at one time?
Wow.
They barely. Our travel is 40,000 feet in the air, and we almost got it to an exact science, my nigga. So where it's safer to travel 40,000 feet in the air than it is operating a motor vehicle. It's a fact.
That's crazy.
So where are we going from there?
The sky highway is more properly managed and operational than the as it they said, because they say as above so below, but that's not necessarily so. As above so below, but not necessarily so, because the highway traffic is treacherous. People be getting clipped left and right.
Every day, people driving in Texas.
Wow, air traffic activity. It be wild planes at once.
You know what I'm saying?
One another.
You know. So look, really think of that, Blue. Like when you get on a plane, you expect to land, my nigga.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we did that's less than 100 years, my nigga.
That's crazy.
You feel me? Where do we go from there? So you telling me man didn't create God? The concept that the fact that our travel is 40,000 feet in the air and it's safer than boats, than it's safer than regular travel on the ground, 40,000 feet in the air, bro, we go years without planes crashing, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
It's an event. Like, oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? So
crazier. Yeah, but they switched it up.
What's that?
I said it used to be crazier, but they switched it up. I mean, even if you look at the amount of time that they went from the Wright brothers to launching fucking rockets into space to allegedly going to the moon, I mean, that's a quantum leap. So what does the next 100 years of aviation look like? You know, what are the possibilities of where one can leap to? You know, even if that quantum leap might now be inward.
If you had an opportunity to travel to space, would you take it?
Hell yeah, I would.
All right, let me ask you this. Another question. If you had the opportunity to repopulate Mars, they was going to use your seed. It was you and your breezies, whoever. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. You can't come back though.
Yeah, me and my breeze are gonna get it popping.
You going?
Mission to Mars. I was raised on this shit. I'm so there.
What about the community?
Bro, to boldly go. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for us. I'm trailblazing. 44 energy. Mars is Aries. That's 44. I'm like, I was made for this.
What about the people, Blue? You gonna leave the people?
I am the people. What? I am.
Are you?
What happened?
Are you gonna leave niggas, man, to go pursue? Are you gonna take the mission?
Dr. Manhattan, nigga. I'm so out of here.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, and that's the caveat though. You can't come back.
Out of here. Yeah, I'm pushing it forward, my nigga, to boldly go. I named my clothing line that because I was raised on these concepts.
That's interesting.
I'm already, yeah. If it was needed for you to go to another planet in another dimension to populate the continuity of a particular thought form, you know, sometimes you have to go to those particular extremes to create the things that you want to see. You like, fuck it. I let me do this shit all over again. Right? Those concepts should exist on a planet of their own. Because how can they exist here? Then you start thinking diabolical, like these niggas gotta go. I want to do this shit over in my way. You know?
Yeah.
Start thinking about ways to make that happen.
I think I'll take the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Out of here, my nigga.
I think I'll take the opportunity. I mean, just on some.
Yeah, just the interest factor alone. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't take the opportunity to explore, you know, the unknown. You feel me? And
I'm
you know,
Barbara son, man. I'm Barbara son. If I'm Barbara son, if I ended up on Mars, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now why did I ask you why did I ask you those kind of questions? Because
shit.
without leaving the earth, that's what the internet is. The internet is a space voyage if you use it the right way.
Mm.
This way I just nerded out, put my tinfoil hat on and shit like that. That's exactly what the internet is. It's that wide. Is that you can make a human upgrade. How I just was talking about body parts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That probably had never happened in my life. But what you can do is you can make mental upgrades. You know what I mean? So in 3 months, what used to take a person 3 to 5 years to learn and master, you can do it digitally. You can do it diligently.
Oh, diligent. Okay.
If you have deep focus. There's an ebook. You mentioned books. There's a book called Deep Focus, and what deep focus is about how to train yourself to lock into one specific thing for a certain amount of time with no distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when you look at people of old,
Yeah.
people of old had the ability to lock in to one specific thing for an 8-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the internet is. You know what I mean? I took it left to come back, right? That's exactly what it is. You want to make a human upgrade? Tap into this internet, yo. You want to solve the coronavirus? Tap into the internet. I can't speak for everybody. I'm not here for everybody. I'm a 151 shot of vodka. I'm for some people's throat. Pause. That was a mean pause. Um, Yeah, I heard it when I said it, like, oh, that was crazy. Um, yeah, you know what I mean? Uh,
Mm.
but you use this shit. I think again, where's people's money at? People's money's on their debit card. How you gonna get it off, yo? What are you gonna do to get that money off their debit card into you? And the thing about it is, find a niche market. If you in the beauty thing, and don't worry about things being saturated. It's 8 billion people. Of course, there's gonna be people that do a specific thing. The only thing you focus on is you doing it. You do it better. So when I go live on my channel, when I'm doing something, my main focus is to give a good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I want the cash apps. Of course, I want people to go to kenbillions.com. But my main thing is to give a good performance. I understand everybody's not going to like me. Let's get that out the way. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Some people are going to find you ugly. That's just the game. That has nothing to do with your performance, whatever it is. So if you're a conscious person and you talk about astrology or numerology, give the best performance because what you're talking about is a product. If it's haircuts, if you're in the beauty industry and you do makeup tutorials, give the best performance, right? So that scales you above your contemporaries and be consistent with that. And I'm telling you, if this corona thing goes to August, by the time it's done, you will have scaled to a certain position that when the shit dies down and gets back to normal, you'll be as big as Nicki Minaj in 4 months. It's a fact because people are looking for new personalities. They're looking for, I just did a live the other day about the guru. Some of you are crazy in terms of your spirituality, or in terms of your insight and your foresight. The world is looking for new gurus. Your church is raiding your house. Your church is you doing this. All you got to do is flip the phone around. The world needs a new Osho, right?
Mm.
The world is desperately waiting for a new Elijah Muhammad. You know what I mean? And if you use the internet the right way, that is your uh, defense against losing the coronavirus. And I'll say this one last thing: if you don't, this is what's going to happen. Now, the Shade Room gave its quarantine and chill snacks.
Snacks, right?
It was Doritos, it was Twinkies, it was chips, it was all that. If this shit goes to April, that obesity level is going to go from 45% of the country to probably 70%. And
Mm-hmm.
people are going to, when the world becomes normal again, they're going to be so far behind because they didn't upgrade in their information, didn't upgrade in their learning, they didn't train, they didn't take advantage. Those people that don't take advantage of this time right now, you will officially represent the first generation of the permanent underclass.
Mm.
Hallelujah.
Amen. You know? So, bro, yeah, the 2 hour mark, you feel me? And when we pack so much
Deep.
information,
Oh, let me get that title for that book too.
yeah, when we compact so much information into such a short amount of time, because it feel like 4 hours. We done had 4 hour shows.
Yeah, we have.
I think we had 6 hour shows. You
Now
know,
we never did the six, yo. But by the way, Elijah Muhammad's theology of time is 8 hours.
8 hours, huh?
Let me see if I could post it in. Do links work in the chat? Let me dive in the chat. What the chat was looking like?
Oh, the
Uh
chat lit.
oh
Chat.
no,
Yeah, the Cash App. That's Kenny Bridge, right?
Kenny Brez, yeah, yep. So yeah, I posted the link. It doesn't look like you can click it. But that's I'm gonna throw the people a few things, man. You know what I'm saying? So I like doing this because then they'll I talk a certain type of way to protect my nerd swag. So you got the book Deep Work, and this is about hyper focus. Um, Another one I recommend for people is The Power of Concentration.
Facts.
The Power of Concentration. And the author is Thuron Q. Dumont. The Power of Concentration. I'm going to give y'all three that I personally recommend. So, Deep Work, which is about having focus for long periods of time, and the tools and the tricks for the power of concentration. And the next one that I'm going to recommend, this is one that I definitely sit with a lot. It's called Supreme Personality. Supreme Personality. Now these are audio books, y'all. Y'all can sit with this. So Supreme Personality, the author is Delmer Eugene Croft. So this is the shit you could just put on Bluetooth, yo, and let it rock, yo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got deep work. Deep work, yeah. All right. You have the power concentration, right? And you have supreme personality. This should have changed your life, yo.
Right.
You know what I mean? No bullshit. This should have changed your life. This should have you scaling and moving further so fast in in your learning and your development. And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So I know I talk a lot of shit, but I'm all about the development of people, not all people, just some people. But yeah, check out those joints.
Yeah, I got homework. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna overload it. That's enough for you to go through personal reflection and transformation in your personal space. All right. We want.
And we got talk uncensored coming for niggas.
Oh yeah. We got that tough talk uncensored. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So that's a paid product that we have coming through. So we gonna decide if we want to make that a pay-per-view or a downloadable file. Now the tough talk is uncensored is when we really, really, really get into the nitty-gritty of our real conversations on the phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This
Like
is
it's gonna be a raw form.
this is not the wrong cut.
You know what I'm saying? So that's tough talk uncensored, yo.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Um, So Blue, what's good, man? What you got coming down the pipeline, man? What's up with you, bro?
Oh, just strategizing and putting some things in place. Transitioning as best I can out of the physical product driven realm. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we announced to the people that we was actually putting a moratorium on shipments for the Gold Water. That was simply because it was sold out, and there has been fluctuations in the supply chain. You know, but also taking this particular downtime to just restructure, put things together in a business perspective. This is a multi-million dollar business, a multi-million dollar brand, but in the interim, still getting in front of the customer in terms of and the client in terms of now on an informational leg, really explaining to them, getting the chance to really talk to them about the product, getting a chance to really talk to the people now who have experienced the product and getting results, sharing stories. Now we're getting an opportunity to get closer to our customer, to our client, you know what I'm saying, to the people who in this paradigm matter most, the people who support you. So it's a perfect opportunity to tighten up a tight knit, situation where you are directly connected. You have a symbiotic relationship to this person who does business with you, who patronizes what it is that you have to offer, and now you have the opportunity to add value to that person's existence, even during this period of downtime. You know what I'm saying? When people are like looking and searching. So the fact that we already have these captive audiences and we have people who we have proven value to, we just have to work on those relationships. And it's going to be a beautiful time, for companies to now get into the customer service, human relation aspect of what their business represents, because those are actual people, on the other sides of of how you do business. You know what I'm saying? Other people that are making these purchases, and they are taking these products and they're improving their lives, and they got stories to tell, and they want to be heard. So this is a perfect opportunity to strengthen those connections. And I'm writing books, finalizing books that I have been writing, and this is a perfect time to do that. And there's books that I'm currently writing as well. I'm getting back into my art. I'm gonna be selling art online. I'm gonna be selling my experience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna find new things to sell. You feel me? And I'm gonna help people market what they want to sell as well. Connecting and putting people together to do business and commerce. You dig what I'm saying? And then there's a whole pantheon of secret X things that we're working on that I can't even speak on. But what I will say, we also have a streaming network coming called Netflix. And, I'm very proud of the fact that we were forward thinking, and we already put all of the plays in motion to set the templates up. So, we have a full fledged answer to what it is that we're looking at. And that gives you a different level of confidence. I got a different level of swag because I know, you know what I'm saying? I got an arsenal coming. So
Hey, Blue, I just yeah, I'm in the chat now, right? I'm in the right now, but somebody asked when is the episode of the art and science of personal magnetism coming? And I think dedicating a full show to that, especially
no,
right now.
yeah, that's gonna be a webinar. That's something that people should pay, because we're gonna give value that supersedes what would be a live show. Look,
Facts.
we could say go back into the 26 episodes. Go back into them episodes we did on faith and belief. Go back into the episodes we did about grace and favor, right?
Mm,
Go back into
mm.
foundational pillars. Those are pillar episodes. That shit is foundational. There's so many gems and jewels in that. You know what I mean? Go back into them older tough talk episodes, because that conversation and that narrative will really prepare you for now, right? Because we've been with stripping away all of the fallacies. You know what I'm saying? And laying it bare. This is where you at right now, my nigga. Right? Talk nice for what? Come on, man.
It took me like 45, 50 minutes to get my Tough Talk swag. I forgot Tough Talk had a tone.
Like, oh, this shit.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, I was being a little PC, and you know what I mean. I gotta hold down the people that pull up to hear a nigga go off.
Right. You know,
AWF.
yeah, this is a perfect time for the audience to really discover the people who have been providing the narrative that qualifies now. You know what I'm saying? That qualifies now. Because when we were speaking about these times, they had not yet physically manifested and came. We saw them in our mind's eye. We've been
Mhm,
reading and studying about them for over 30 years. But
mhm.
now we here. We at the doorstep. We in the we in the foyer. We in the living room of it. You dig what I'm saying? But these are marvelous times. It's a beautiful time. You know what I'm saying? And I was born for this. I'm excited. I'm invigorated, and I'm also at peace with the fact that, yo, I might lose things that I love through this. And I'm at peace with
Oh,
that.
oh, that was hard. I like that.
I'm at
Blue,
peace.
you ain't even see when I put my leg up.
You did what?
It was a cam reference, nigga. You ain't even see when I put my leg up. I'm fucking with you. Um, say you do what? Hey, so yeah, now we gonna get out of here. Yo, go ahead and subscribe to the kids YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially the fellas. Like I got shit on there called Man Sharpens Man, where it's content straight for dudes. You know what I mean? And that is super important right now because it's hard to have a conversation with guys. You know what I mean? Straight to guys. So most of the content online is catered to women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is for women. Because it's hard to talk to guys because women have an agreeable personality. So they'll go into easy listening. But yo, if you a dude, you know what I'm saying, the way that I live my life, the things that I've been through, I'm sure I've been in a position that you've been into. And matter of fact, go ahead and subscribe because tomorrow I'm talking about the power of the tongue, and I'm gonna be using the book of James to do that. Iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man. You know what I'm saying?
What's the name of your YouTube?
Kenny Brisbon. Just put me in or Ken Billions. You know what I'm saying? It'll come right up. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta buy shit, you know what I'm saying, unless you feel like it. You ain't gotta send me no money unless you feel like it. It's important that you just come through and just hear nigga, you know, because this is extra for me. You know what I'm saying? My life been fire. So helping a motherfucker is the best. Of course, you know, I'll take $1 million in a Bentley. But other than that, nigga blessed. You know what I mean? My life is the shit. So that's there ain't nothing else to do but give niggas some bars.
Right. Y'all got bars tonight. Please. Please, motherfucking understand. Yeah, this might be the one that I transcribed for the book, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna dress it up. The visuals is crazy.
You got some
What?
you always tease a nigga with that shit, man.
All right. Well, we got time now.
yeah.
And you know, we have people willing to work because they
Yeah,
have to work.
for sure.
It's hitting me up left and right, like, oh, I want to help. What can I get into? So, you know, a lot of things gonna come to life. You know what I'm saying? These are exciting times. And see you at the platinum party, my nigga. Oh, I got quarantine music coming too.
Quarantine, okay.
Bro, pen been going off. We didn't really get a chance to talk about that J Elect. But
Oh, I'll leave off with this.
yeah,
That nigga Hove is that nigga, man.
how about it?
He that nigga, bro. I seen him, you know, watch the throne. I done seen this dude, Lucky Lefty, just the way he moves, and I've been watching this shit for 20 some years, and I'm still impressed. And it's just crazy how him and Nas have switched roles.
Well, I was gonna say that, before we parted, I was gonna say also due to knowledge that this is 19 years after the official Twin Towers collision between Nas and Hov. Blueprint came out on September 11th, 2001, right? That was 19 years ago. This is when the juxtaposition in hip hop happened. The fallout after Big vacated the throne of the King of New York, it was a vacuum and it was a war and a fight for it between Nas and Jay-Z. Nas wanted to move from being considered the conscious spiritual entity into the realm of materialism, where Jay-Z, having mastered that particular realm, wanted to move into the realm of spiritualism in terms of they were battling to see who would have the hearts and the minds of the street disciples. So someone's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna mix light and dark. You feel me? And then they clashed. And it was, it was a back and forth because Takeover was crazy. Initially, that first blow was something else.
Yeah, that was tough.
And it hit on 9/11 when the towers dropped. Right?
right.
Fucking
Right.
city went into chaos. But the Kings was now at war with the Queens. And it was a sun blasted on the whole Queen battalion.
Right.
Right? So remember, y'all, this is symbolism. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the highest level of symbolism. This is modern day mythology, right? Which will be written about in times to come. Utilizing this cloth, of course, because no one tells a story like we do. They had the battle of the times when the motherfucking towers fell. And the towers were erected on April 4th, 1973. And it fell on 9/11. And the 44 guard was responsible for setting it off. and he still did numbers in the drought because when people were terrified, that did not stop them from running to the store and buying that album by the by the considerable numbers. I don't remember exactly what number he did, but it was very successful. I went to the benefit concert and everything that he gave for 9/11. And through those years, he has been metamorphosizing himself. Even though he was considered to have lost the battle, he won the war because look at the juxtaposition now. Nas got what he was in it for, right? He has achieved a level of success in terms of his materialism. He could talk crazy now about, yo, I made this amount of money. It still looks somewhat shallow to the nigga that made $1 billion. But look where this $1 billion nigga's at in his spiritual bag, in the evolution of the conversation, in the continuity of the narrative, where he went full God body when Nas would not, right? Nas would not. Nas was conflicting in what allegiance he had to the 5-pointer star, the 6-pointer one. So
Nas. I'm a Nas defender because Nas is my favorite rapper. Right? I got the It Was Written haircut for years.
I'm job fucking you, nah.
with the part, right? And it's interesting.
Oh, how many times you see me rock by half moon? I mean, Nas.
Yo, stop playing. Yo, I walk in barbershops and my niggas know you want the It Was Written. Like, yeah. Like, give me the It Was Written, right? Nah, but it's crazy because I seen Nas in the Bahamas with Drea, right? She was one of the basketball wives. I don't know if you know Drea, right?
Oh yeah.
Now I would pipe, don't get it twisted.
Right.
But
he was wifeyed up though.
I mean, it was optics is everything, right?
Yeah.
And it could have just been a picture. And you know a lot about what's going on with a dude by the chick that he fucking with. And while I've been following Nas's career, he's always had a chick problem. Right? Yeah. The chicks never matched his bars. Right? So you see Jay-Z, Beyonce, they equally yoked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen Nas with Nicki Minaj, I was like, but damn, she was with Meek Mill though. And what I'm saying is that's the little homie. You the big homie. You can't fuck with the little homie's ex.
Right.
Not in public like that because that's the little homie. Like you're actually a prisoner to your own position a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just in certain optics of movements, I'm like, damn, Jay kind of won this thing a little bit. And that hurts me to say because I used to be at lunch tables like, yo, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, Nas is making investment money. So, like you said, he got exactly the shit that he want, but his music has suffered because of that. Right? I don't ever have to listen to the Lost Tapes 2 again. I mean, I banged it. I was in Miami and I wanted to love it because it was Nas. Mm-hmm. But it
ain't had that replay value.
That first album, that first Lost Tapes had do-rags on it.
Do-rags on it.
You know what I'm saying? Papa Was a Player on it. Black Zombies on it.
Zombies.
You feel me?
Purple. Right.
Like you actually dropped a Lost Tapes album with old songs. Some of this shit you freestyle. Some of the so what that tells me is, which is cool, but
yeah, and they said nigga, he's eclipsing his own skin in his own lifetime by Little Nas X.
That's crazy.
You Google Nas, nigga, who gonna come up? He eclipsing.
You know, and that's a thing, right? So I think for real, he left everything he had on the table on that nigger album. Because when I listened to that J Electronica, it triggered me to go back to listen to that nigger album by Nas. That album was supposed to come out right now.
Remember he had produced J Elect produced tracks on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when he went on to the More Information. We always knew that Jay Electronica was the one in the back, you know, throwing motherfucking nuggets at these dudes. So Nas information, his conversation changed up a nigga. He was wild with it.
Yeah.
He was wild with it on the album. That album was way before his time.
You know what fucks me up about Nas? This will be tripping me out. He does not. He never fucks with a righteous woman though.
Mm.
Right? And I'm not talking about. I'm talking about a woman that would match somebody that would make the song Poison.
Right, the God potential.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Right? Yo, there are women like that. Like, you know, this is the funny thing. He's the dude that is gonna marry a square chick and then fall in love with an outside hoe. He likes that. He does that, right? And that also affects the music. You know what I'm saying? He got the song Black Girl Lost. He loves Black Girl Lost. He likes that. And there's an element to that because the sex be fire. I get it, right? Broken women got fire bottom. That's just what it is, right? Um, you know, we like what we like. But when you're Nas and you are Mount Rushmore, you know what I'm saying? Your decisions have to look different. Jay-Z got the album with Beyonce that has some cool joints on
Yeah,
there.
let's
You know,
play hypothetical. What if Nas was to book something like her?
like who?
Her, the artist her, Her,
Hmm.
or like before we knew that she was a pansexual, what if he was to book like a Janelle Monáe or something? What it would do for his art, his actual craft. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Fire.
Fire. Him and Khalees got terrible songs together.
Yeah. What if he booked Alicia before Swiss Beats?
That's where I thought it was going though.
Oof.
That's where I thought that's where I thought that was going. It matched at that time because when she dropped songs with A minor, she took off. You know what I'm saying? That's where I thought he was going with the wave because who else are you gonna gel with? You are Nas. There was a time period, it was Nas, Jay-Z, and DMX, and it was all neck to neck. You feel me? They was all neck to neck. And then Jay just you know what happened to DMX? Nas was still breathing, you know, Stillmatic and shit like that. In fact, he should have got a woman from Jamaica when he dropped the Distant Relatives album.
Mm.
Why? Yo, you know what fucks me up, Blue? I'm gonna say this. I know this what fucks me up. These niggas all date the same women.
Yo,
Now, when you got money like this, why are you not bringing your women important? She might be a straight hoe in Brazil, but niggas don't know that here.
that's what I'm saying. If you see the breezies that end up on IG, and they be the ones that, they got the natural locks and shit like that, the sewn in locks, but they be like trannies and bads. You like, is that a AI composite? Because I know where Shorty exists from. What's her handle? And they always show pictures, but they never see the IG handles. Why these niggas don't be pulling up with that?
They date the same
They grew up.
Nicole Murphy. I mean, they literally date for one. They wait for one, and to me, that doesn't show creativity because if I'm a millionaire, let me tell you something. She might be a straight whore in Colombia, but you niggas never heard of her. All my shit is imported. Yo, you got so hold on. You know what's interesting? None of these niggas go to Africa and get a woman, dog.
Nah, son, they got some.
Like,
I'm like, you missed out on all that. Like, y'all niggas is moving that quick that you passed that.
it's no creativity, bro.
Yeah,
Yo, the women that I see, the pictures of the women
hold on,
from
you got
Africa,
access to the whole world, and your palate is chicken for real, like hood chicken, rotisserie.
so let me get this straight. So you got $10 million in your clip. You got Africa. Yo, you remember when we was at the Gem Fest and we see that Japanese woman?
Fire.
Crazy. You got Japan. You got all over the world. Now, say you want to keep a straight melanated woman. Yo, you have a whole continent of Brazil with brown shorties, right? You got shorties in Africa. The mere fact that they date the same women, I'll be like, yo, the creativity is trash. When I pull up to the red carpet, none of these chicks would speak English. You can't bag my chick, nigga, unless you speak Portuguese, nigga. I'm getting her straight out the favela, bro.
Yeah, they said Ludacris got one. I thought Ludacris Shorty was like Spanish or something, but
She might. What is she though? She hard though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. So that's what I expect. But see, it's fucked up because to hold to project, right? We always want our artists to move in a certain type of way, and that's unfair because I don't want somebody doing it to me. So I'm holding him on a Nas level of my own emotions from hearing "Got Yourself a Gun," "I Give You Power," you know me, Illmatic, you know what I'm saying? The lost tapes and distant relatives and life is good. I'm doing that. He might like what he like, but it seems like I know what he like. He likes he likes trash broads. You know what I'm saying? That's his thing, right?
yeah.
That's his thing. You know what I'm saying? And so because when I seen the Khalees move, I was like, damn, why? Like she belong with Pharrell. Like they go together. They match each other.
Match, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I was talking about it the other day. I was like, damn, now what about Kerry Washington though? That's a cool look.
Bad.
You know what I'm saying? Olivia Pope, that's a cool look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but they have role reversal. So yeah, but Jay Z kind of body slammed your man around the whole shit.
I mean, I
Fact.
don't I that yeah. I didn't hear that. It took me to hear other people saying that to look at it.
Yeah, bro.
I just heard a synergy. I mean, I know what type of gym shoes he come. You're gonna hear a lot of screeching. Screech, 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 screech. Man, son is lucky lefty. He got a mean hook. So I'm like, for somebody's first album, heavily anticipated, and it's Ray and Ghost. Son is like, yo, I'm just here to set the motherfucking alley oops up. I want to see this nigga dunk. I'm a fan too. So it was Pippen Jordan, and Son played Pippen on his own album. They still got the championship though. That's what I'm like, nigga. I got food. I got rocket fuel. I don't have time to separate motherfucking ethanol corn from ethanol hemp. Nigga, it all works in the tank. Somebody figured out the combustibility of it, and I got rocket fuel for the mothership, my nigga. I could go places with this narrative. That's my personal shit. Now I don't know what everybody else's ear is cultivated to hear. I can't speak on that, but I'm hearing people say, "Oh, he got out rapped," and I'm like, two different styles. You know what I'm saying? And some he was in his pocket and in his lane for what he do. Jay Spazzing, exploring a whole new terrain, right? That was his coming out party. I'm going bonkers on this shit. We needed that. Yeah, what if Nas back? Shot Dave. Like, that was
Oh, come on.
become an international standard. Like
Yo,
that's
fam.
you know that you would think that you would see like a Nasir with like your music is if,
Like,
if your music was a female person, it would be Sade.
hey, Blue. You know what would have been crazy about that?
I don't know
His
what Eve, but
his his social value would have went to another level because she like 15 years older than him.
he would be the international standard.
He got an older woman.
He would open up the international ports for what
Yeah,
a melanated man of an international standard from America could look like.
that was a good pick.
He's so crazy, and that's how you advance the culture, people. We saying just by these examples, just by somebody's self-sacrifice for reaching for that height and achieving it allows other men to fly. You feel me? And these are the potential that these artists have when you are dragging a culture along with you, right? They go as far as your wing fucking span goes. But
That
when
would have
you
been
don't
crazy.
know your body, you not flapping. You like, damn, you wasted a whole flight, my nigga.
That was a good pick, yo. Whoever said that, Nas and Sade, and it would have been so crazy because she 15 years older than him. You know what I'm saying? You would have been a young nigga rolling around with this, you know what I'm saying? With this Khadijah, nigga.
Right. And
Perfect.
she gave that young man so much culture. You know, the raps would have been different. The conversation,
Different. Oh man, it would have been different.
yeah, and the
So
world benefits from those interactions. The world benefits from that interplay. The world benefits from you having a fire breezy.
totally.
And the world benefits from that. Shit is important. So with that
Yeah,
said,
that was
I got business I got to handle. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, so you know that tough talk on censor, man, that's coming down the pipeline, yo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be crazy, y'all. All right. We do appreciate your attendance tonight for another historical event. You know, Tough Talk Tuesday 26, instant classic. You know what I'm saying?
My dude, you already know my guy.
You already. All right.
Man, peace, family.
Peace, y'all. Salute.